So I had this Mavic drone turn up 3 weeks ago. The last person in the world to actually get one. It's been nothing but raining since, so it hasn't really done anything. I've been checking out online of all the cool things people are doing with them. God, I just want to take this out. So anyway, we had an idea. Dungeness is a place in this country I've never been. Dungeness is famous for its wonderful scenery, and it's just a really great place to go, apparently, because I've never been. I keep promising myself that I'm going to go, and still to this day, Dungeness is a place I've never been. So with that in mind, we thought, well, as soon as we'll wait for a break in the weather, pack up the Mavic, and we'll go to Dungeness. That's what we're going to do. Except the weather. Of course, the weather. It's raining. It's always raining. So Dungeness off the cards. Still not going to Dungeness. However, my good lady wife, she finds that actually for a similar price, perfect. Pack up the Mavic, the Osmo, go for a trip. Very windy in some places, and I did check out some airport reading on the way. Drones are, well, they've been handing out some pretty major fines for drones. Be sensible, don't be stupid. We see stupid stuff happening all the time. That's the stuff that's going to get us banned. You might see Casey Neistat out there flying his drone through the middle of New York. Don't do it. I'm sure he's got permissions and stuff, but the more of these things that we have out, and the more idiots then are going to have them. But this has just got to hit the wrong person once, and we're going to have some bylaws passed, and then there'll be some laws. And next thing you know, no more drones. If you go somewhere, do check out the rules. Well, we checked out the Spanish law, and we checked out Gran Canaria law. Now there's some bylaws there, which mean you can't fly them in certain areas. Fortunately, one of the cool things about switching on the Mavic straight away is it actually updates itself to local laws, which meant that there were certain things that we couldn't do that I would expect to be able to do. A lot more warning buzzers go off, let you know if you're in a restricted area.
We appreciate your attention. Wish you a pleasant flight.
So, we figured it was too windy on the beach. It's clearly too windy on the beach, and there's people around, so don't be idiots. We're not going to fly there. So the first time we took it out, stock settings, and we went off to the northwest side of Gran Canaria. It's not a tourist spot, but it was a beautiful spot. We thought we'd give it a go. This is what it looked like. One of the things that can be said straight away is that out of the box settings are pretty mushy. Obviously, you can see by the weather we're starting to get towards the end of the day, but we got it flying nicely by this point. I'd adjusted a whole bunch of settings to do with flying, and I suppose it is worth mentioning those. If you're going to fly the drone out the box, it's far too twitchy. I might just list on the screen. I don't want it to be one of these 20-minute long videos of, go to whatever. There they are. We'll list them on the screen, or probably on this side. That's what worked for me. What will work for you will be totally different. But what I was after was something that was a lot less responsive. When I moved the camera up and down, I wanted it to be controllable. It is now. Those are the settings I used. Try them out. Let me know what you think. If you've come up with better settings, do let me know. But the image itself, as you can see, is kind of sharp, too saturated, kind of looks a bit grainy. The ISO is right down, but that's just the image. So we tried a few more things with some slightly different scenery, because you can see from what we shot there, the cliff tops are kind of in shadow, whereas the sea and the white horses in the sea are slightly overexposed. So we went down a slightly different area and tried this shot out. Now, I'll caveat this with at this stage, this was really like the first time we'd properly flown it, so I wasn't using any intelligent flight modes, and there was stuff we could do better. I still found that it was a bit jerky in flight, so again, we dumbed down the settings further. The ones I've shown you are the final settings, incidentally. But it flew well. I felt really comfortable and confident with it straight away. It's worth saying, you can see there's no people around except for myself. Take time to get confident with the aircraft. Something like the Mavic is so easy to fly, but it's still just as dangerous as it goes wrong. I'm going to stop with the health and safety thing. Don't be idiots. You're going to get us all banned. So, with this footage, we've gone back, had a look. I made some adjustments to the camera this time. Now, the standard picture profiles and stuff on there, they're okay. But all the stuff I just said before. What I'm going to do now, puts the settings that I eventually went for. We trial and errored a whole bunch of settings, but these are the settings that worked for me. If you like them, cool. If not, do let me know. So the next day then, we went up somewhere where we could just get something a little bit different. It was clearly too windy on the beach. So off we went up the mountains. Now, the cool thing here was there was just lots of different bits of scenery. Well, let's have a look. So this first shot that you'll see is us running out from the top of a mountain with a dam, a sort of reservoir dam, maybe 300 metres below. I think the shot was really good, and I flew it kind of 45 degrees into the sun, just to see how the lens would cope. And actually, I find the lens flare in there quite pleasant. The image is good, it's sharp, but not too sharp. One of the things you'll notice about this image, much like the last one, I always try and compression test this stuff. The bit rate on these cameras is pretty low, and what's really worth seeing to me is on a busy frame, where there's loads of stuff changing in frame. In this case, all the detail in the trees, the overblown the highlights, and all the rest of it. As an image goes, there should be more or less everything that can go wrong there in that image. It holds up pretty well. And actually, with a bit of a grade on, grade's okay as well. It falls over pretty quick, but it's good. We then tried a bit more flying and stuff, crane shots and what have you, and that was really good. And then the obligatory top-down shot. Again, it was pretty windy, but the drone performed flawlessly. It did just do one thing, and it could be totally my eyesight or a bird flew in front of it. The obstacle detection thing was beeping all over the place. I couldn't identify anything wrong. With a couple of days away of playing with this, I managed to refine the flight settings and the camera settings to something that really worked for me. I've heard various different complaints about the ride height of the thing and all sorts of other stuff. And I bought myself a flight case, which is this thing here, which I'll actually talk about in a whole separate video. The company that make this flight case, who are they? Hell, I don't know, I'll put it in the description. Great company, I'll tell you why another day. But I didn't take that flight case in the end. What I took was the bag that comes with the DJI Fly Combo, Fly More Combo, whatever it's called, kit. And that was perfect. It was really good. So that was my first experience with the Mavic. Do let me know if you think that there's some settings that I could get even better shots. If there's something you think I'm missing on the camera, or if you've got any questions about it. You know, we've got a few hours under the belt now. As I said, I'm pretty well versed with flying drones anyway. This thing is my new favourite drone, and yeah, I know I'm the last person in the world to get one. And if I haven't told you before, well, obviously subscribe and all of that gubbins. But the Blackmagic announcements from the other day were for the web presenter, the HyperDeck Studio Mini, the whatever else there was. Anyway, we've got all those things coming. They will be here in the next few days. So do check back, because I'll be bringing you full review and demo and see how we're going to be putting those to work. In the interim, thanks for watching.